All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of the Get Moving podcast. I am your host, Coach Cala, the one and only, of course. Um, this is the number one podcast in the world about fitness education and just trying to help people get moving, according to my mom, of course. And I'm just super excited to talk about my HYROX New York City experience with my twin brother, Mike, where we completed a twin PR. If you're interested in HYROX's, please definitely check out this video. This is my third one, and I will go into a lot of detail about what I loved about it, what I didn't like, what I would do better for next time, and I will even give a bonus station ranking for this podcast. So, thanks for tuning in. Again, my name is Coach Cala, just a local PE teacher from Connecticut, trying to help my students and supporters get moving. And one way to get moving in today's world is by doing a HYROX. So let's get right into it. Let me just check who's here. Who's here? So, first things first, HYROX. It's one of the toughest fitness races in the world. It gets a lot of hate online, and I really do not understand why. It's a super tough workout. And I mean, I guess it could get hate if you don't know how fast you want to go, but that's the beauty of any race, whether it's a local 5K or a HYROX or a half marathon or a marathon. You go at your own pace. That's all that matters. Number two. Sorry, not number two. So let's get into it. So New York City was me and my twin brother's second HYROX together. My first ever one was in October of 2025 with my oldest brother, where we did the Boston HYROX in 1:16:06. For this one, we did a 1:16:14, which is a twin PR because my twin brother Mike and I, back in March or January or February when we did the HYROX Americas, we actually did 1:18 something. And so this was a 2.5 minute improvement from the last time we did it. So what changed with our training? Number one, well, let me go into this. Goal going into this was to break actually our record, which was 1:18, I think 54. So really close to 1:19. Number two, and to actually feel good while doing it. The second time I did this, I was hurting so bad. I just came off a wrestling season. I was doing like no running at all. I was hurting. So my two goals were to survive, of course, and to just beat our score from last time for me and my twin. Couple things about race morning that day. We got there super early. It was actually on a Friday. We went at 1:10, if I believe. And it was super nice out. There was a breeze while we were running, but towards the end it was getting hot, but that was not phasing us. So we started off, just had some coffee and a bagel that morning, and we were just carving up as we were there. I had a banana right before, I believe, and then during it we had a couple of the our new go-to, the nerds bunches or whatever they're called, and they were so good. Now I didn't take them for any carbs or fuel. I just took them to take my mind off how tough the run is after doing the lunges and stuff like that, which was awesome. What are those things called? Those nerds. So nutrition and hydration before the race. I guess that's something where we could start. I was trying to drink a gallon a day, and I've been about 170 pounds since January, which is fine for me. I'm trying to get back down to 160-ish, but I felt really strong and light that day. And my go-to shoes for that day, the most important thing, were my Adios Pro 4 plates. My twin and I were both in great shape. We were ready to go. And the best thing I think we did that day was we warmed up 60 minutes before it was our turn to go out there, because they do call you 10 minutes before you go in, and you're just standing there and you're actually kind of cooling down your body, which I don't love. Usually when you do a local 5K or a marathon, you warm up and then you go right into the race. Maybe you stand for 5 minutes, but the HYROX, you stand there for like 10 minutes and it drags a little bit. You feel it. And I felt it a lot the second time. So when you're doing it, make sure you get a good sweat going so you don't shock your body as you're getting ready to race. Training for this HYROX the third time, I was hitting Orange Theory and gyms twice a week. That was my main goal until 2 weeks before, just so I didn't risk any injury. I was still doing my push-ups and pull-ups and maybe one workout a week. But up until 2 weeks before, I was hitting the gym 2-3 times a week at Orange Theory, occasionally Planet Fitness. The week of, I hit the gym with my friend Miles, who's an absolute beast, and we just did one strength training workout, which was tough. And what I really focused on a lot this one was to run a ton. I've been averaging 20 to 30 miles a week, which doesn't sound like a lot to the average runner, but when I'm hitting 25, 30,000 steps a day as a PE teacher, that is a lot of mileage, a lot of time on my feet where I felt great in shape. 4 weeks after my last HYROX, I did a 141 half marathon. That was just for fun. So I really try to stay in the best shape I can. In between Orange Theory, adding those HYROX workouts, and my weekly runs, I felt in the best shape for the HYROX that day. My running volume leading into it again was 30 miles a week. Up until the week of, I didn't taper too much, and tapering, of course, slowed it down a lot. I stopped at 20 miles that week or 15 miles, and I ended with, I stopped at 11 miles of the week, and then I did 5 miles that day, coming out to 16 miles total that week, and I took a couple of days off. But I was not tapering hard like I did for New York, where I only did like 4 or 5 miles, which was not the best move by me. But I really do think the biggest change for me for this race was changing into the carbon plated shoes. Now, a lot of people might say, oh, you're cheating. If you have the shoes, wear them. I wore my Brooks Hyperion the second time. I loved them. They were a great shoe. Did they hurt halfway through, though? These plated shoes or the Adios Pro 4s have a different type of plate, a different type of material, and they feel great. If I wasn't wearing a plated shoe, I think we still would have crushed it easily. We were both in great shape. Mike actually just came off a 3-week vacation, so he wasn't in the best shape. I still think we could beat 115 for next time, but we did a great job. I was very proud to crush our HYROX together. The goal for next time, though, is to definitely get under 115. But we both told each other after we do this Philly Marathon, which is next on our list in November, we should really lock in and just do HYROX workouts along with marathon training. I think that would be the best goal. Doing just the Orange Theory and working out once or twice a week, I feel like isn't the best. I feel like I really need to go to like a HYROX gym to really get the movements down. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was a fantastic time. So let's move into the gear for right now. The shoes I wore that day were the Adios Pro 4s. Again, I think they're the best shoe right now. I have them right here next to me. I mean, just look at these beautiful shoes. I love these shoes. The colors, they're awesome. They're super light on my feet. You can barely tell there's even a plate in there. They're just an amazing, amazing shoe. You can get the other shoes from Adidas that don't have the plate in them. I'm sure they will work perfect. We wore tank tops. It was so hot out. And I recommend wearing something that's not tight to your body because with all the workouts, you might rip out of that shirt. No, but seriously, if it's too tight to your body, you might feel a little uncomfortable. That's why I try not to wear too tight clothes when I'm working out. It might throw you off a little bit. Same thing with your shoes. If your shoes are too tight, you're probably gonna not love doing the HYROX. I know a lot of runners like wearing like tighter shoes when they're running so they can really feel their toes. But I don't know. I like having looser clothes on so I can move around, especially when we get to the wall balls. That's just something else you got to think about. The only thing I would do different for next time is practice again. Lots of exercises, especially the wall balls and the lunges. But I'll do a station breakdown momentarily. All right. The biggest thing I want to talk about for this race, because there is no video out there on YouTube, I'm calling right now, that says what is the best device to use when running the HYROX. There is no video. I was looking nonstop for what video is the best, or sorry, not what video. What device is the best device to wear during a HYROX, whether it's an Apple Watch, Coros, heart rate monitor, the Garmin watch, 265, get any of them, is the best watch. Here is why. I plugged in on my device a 110 HYROX. All you had to do was type it in under run. You upload the program on here, how fast you want to go, and add each station. It took me about 25 minutes. It was a little tedious at first, but once I got it, it was so easy. Plug it in on your phone. It connects to your Garmin. My second HYROX, I was just looking at my heart rate the whole time. I was like, oh my goodness. This one, it doesn't even show the heart rate when you're in a set mode. As soon as we got to the wall balls, we were at 108. According to my watch, the only thing I didn't add into it was our zone time, I believe that's what it's called, where you're going through into your station and out. That collective time I forgot to add, so that was like an extra 2 minutes each. So realistically, we probably got there like 110, and it took us 5 to 6 minutes to do the wall balls. Finished at 116, was perfect. This was off by like 2 minutes. I plugged it in for a 108 to be at the wall balls, so it was huge. I mean, we got there in perfect timing. It was incredible. I swear, when we finished in that thumbnail that I plugged where I'm flexing like this, I thought we hit a 114. That's what I thought my brother was saying. But We had a great time. I have no complaints, but I truly believe the Garmin is the absolute best watch for the HYROX and running in general. Just because you could plug in all the stats that you want to do and hit, and it tells you if you're going too slow, like it's just incredible. I didn't have to think twice about my pace. All I had to do was look down every half a kilometer just to see where I was. Because trust me, at that HYROX in New York, it was very well organized, but it was also like not well organized. Every lap, more and more people were running out. There was like very little room to run around people. There was people complaining about people going too slow. Meanwhile, they're only running a 3.5 minute kilometer, 4 minute kilometer, which is cool, but like, who cares? But I would definitely try investing in a Garmin if you care about that stuff. If you don't, just go after it, crush it. But having the Garmin watch plug all the data in was the absolute best thing on earth. All right, time for my favorite part of this video, the station breakdown. I'm going to share my screen. And if there's anything you want me to go over again, please just type it in the chat. But I'm going to share my screen on purelistmaker.org because I am tired of the other things not working. Can you see me? Perfect. All right. We got S tier, the best of the best stations, the ones that I love the most. A tier, would do it again in a heartbeat. B tier, good. C tier, not my favorite. And F, the absolute worst. We're going to try to start off with the run. If I am in running shape, the run is the absolute easiest and it feels great. I'm not going to put it S tier because if I'm not in running shape, it is kind of tough. And every single run after the lunges stink. Why can't I click on that? Why can't I click on you? I was just doing this. All right, so I'm gonna click on my. It was just working a second ago. All right, well, that one's working. Oh, I guess I gotta go from this one. It's a little odd. Little odd. Burpees. Boom. Where do those burpees just go? Burpees. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second. Technical difficulties again on this. Run. And let me add the burpees. All right, perfect. All right, I'm gonna share my screen one more time. Sorry about that. All right, perfect. We should be able to share my screen. Tierlistmaker.org is well better ran than tier list maker. All right, we're gonna start off with the burpees. The burpees that time were not fun. And I was actually practicing them in my gymnasium with my students, but I was also practicing them at Orange Theory. I felt like I was in great burpee shape. The thing is, I forget, is the run to the burpee station is super tough. Also, it was like the furthest station when you got into the zone. Crazy. The burpees are really tough. I don't know what it was. And then they say I kept moving my foot, this and that. Thankfully, they just gave me warnings. Probably could have gotten a penalty or two, but I was grateful for them. But I would not recommend doing the burpees again unless you're really practicing burpee broad jumps. This is C tier for me. Not my favorite. It was really tough that day. Going back to the run, if you are in running shape, this is S tier all day. The only reason I'm going to put this in A tier is because the run is tough if you're not in shape. But the run after every single lunge is not good. It's just this picture is not working. Why is this picture not dragging? Whatever. Let's see another one. Farmer's carry, super easy, S tier. I would do that all day, every day. Look at that awesome picture of my brother Mike. He is a beast. Actually, that might be me. Sandbag lunges, the absolute Worst. I would put these in F tier. I do not like doing sandbag lunges at all. I'm going to be completely honest. The last time I did sandbag lunges was at the Boston HYROX, sorry, at the DC HYROX. I do not love them. For some reason, they just hurt. I don't know what it is. And I can do lunges, but man, there is something about doing those sandbag lunges where I'm like, wow. I got to figure out better technique for it, but that's my goal for the next one for sure. I wouldn't say it's the worst station, but it's always the biggest surprise to me when I get to the sandbag station. I'm just like, why is this so difficult? Because it is only 40 pounds, and I carry, I don't know, a 20-pound backpack every day. Let's start off with the one that everybody starts with at the HYROX. I'm gonna put this one in B tier. I think the ski erg is easy, but it takes forever, and I seem to always be a little bit gassed after it, no matter how good of shape I'm in when I'm running. Um, and I think this is the biggest sleeper of the HYROX. I feel like most people will gas out on this one in the burpees if they're not in good shape. And if you go way too fast on the ski erg, you're done. So I'm going to call this the sleeper station and put it in the B tier because before you know it, I'm going to be behind you. Honestly, the row erg was a fantastic station for me that day. Also, shout out for this HYROX person for that awesome flick. That's going to go on a website for sure. The only knock on the row erg that day, number one, I think our thing from 1 to 10 was too high, and I'm cool with doing it on 10. But the people to the left and right of us were definitely on like 5, 6, or 7. And number two, I fell off the seat, and my brother did this in DC, but I fell off in New York, and I was strapped in tight. I don't know what happened, but I just don't understand why don't they have those nice cushions that they do or the back thing for you. But I mean, it's got to cost like $5 more to put a back thing on it, right? So nobody falls off. There's no way I'm the only person at the HYROX when 50,000 people ran it that weekend that fell off of it. All right, moving on. So in chronological order, this is station 1. Then we have station 2, the push sled. I would put this in A tier as well. When the carpet is nice, like this one, it was so easy to push all that weight. It flew. Me and my twin were like in top, I will say top 10 for the longest time. I don't even know what we got. I think we got like top 15. Who knows? I might be making up numbers, but we were never too far behind. And in DC, the carpet was a little tough, but this was so smooth to push it across. And if you've been watching my videos, you will know that my least favorite stations last time were the wall ball and, of course, the pole sled. The pole sled this time was so easy. And I'm telling you right now, everybody that's listening, or even if you're not listening, you're going to watch this video later. The pole sled, when there is a nice carpet in front of you to pull it on, is the easiest station. The last time I did a pole sled was at the HYROX. The last time I did the pole sled before that was at the other 2 HYROXs. I never pull a sled. We did it in about 2 minutes. I'm going to put this in B tier because I know how tough it could be. But honestly, if there's a nice carpet, that thing just flies on it. 2 more. Let's see if the run works. I don't know why this run is not working this picture. Last one, wall ball, F tier. We had 0 rhythm this day, me and Mike. Look at that beautiful shot he has right there. He's shooting a Kobe 3 or a Brunson 2. We switched every 10. We took like 5 or 6 minutes again. I'm telling you, we got to the station at like 105, 108. We should easily be breaking 115, me and him, but we just have fun and laugh. We were switching every 10 and we were just shaking our heads nonstop. The wall balls just take the life out of you. Why are they so tough? But it's just a lot of fun. I think if we find some rhythm to a wall ball, we should be breaking 115 easily. And I honestly think if we're both in Philly marathon shape when we do the next HYROX, we will be fine and probably be able to break 110. But the wall balls, if you do not practice them, I don't know what you're going to do. I was shooting basketball shots every day with the elementary school students. And boy, was that so hard still at the wall ball. 100 of them is just so many. I applaud anyone that does 100 unbroken. You are incredible. And last but not least, unfortunately, it's not even sliding. But if I were to put the run anywhere, I would put it in A tier. Again, if you're not in running shape, it's going to probably be F tier for you. But if you're in running shape, I would put it between A and S. The only time it really, really is brutal is after the lunges for me. Every other station, it seems to fly by. The pull sled a little bit, you feel it. But the legs after lunges hurt so much. But that's my newest tier list for the HYROX New York City 2026. Go check out my other two from my DC and Boston HYROX. But honestly, I really thought it was our best times, our best stations. I really should show our exact times next time, but just a learning lesson again. I work so much, and I'm sure, like all of you, I just try to grind and get through it. And I'm just really happy I'm able to talk about this HYROX finally. I'm on the best podcast in the world, according to my mom, the Get Moving podcast with Coach Cala, one of the highest energy people you will ever meet. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to also get moving, especially this summer. If you're one of my students listening, get moving. All right. So that was the race breakdown of each station. The only reason we really lost time and could have had the best PR instead of just the twin PR is because of the wall balls. A couple other things I'd like to point out. When we did the farmer's carry, somebody was blocking my twin, which was crazy. The judge was like standing like this. And we are like, dude, you got to move. But I can't blame him. We just didn't know where to go. He was standing in the way. I could blame him. But they helped me out on the burpees and didn't penalize me, which was sick. But other than that, we gained a lot of experience. It was a learning lesson. And we just had a fantastic time doing it. So how Mike and I divided the work is a question I got a lot from my coworkers who want to do one together with people, and from my friends. We switched every down and back on the pull and push sled, and then for the wall ball specifically, it was up and down. Sorry, every 10 we would switch. The only thing I would change for next time with the wall balls is passing the ball to him instead of me picking it up off the floor. Farmers carries was a bit tricky. I feel like we both carried it for 50 meters and then we would drop it, but he was running a lot more with it, which was awesome. Communication during the race, we try to keep it positive. You're doing great. You're doing great. Love you, bro. Like, those are the things we like to say to each other. There's a lot of people bringing each other down at this HYROX. This was the only HYROX I've been to out of the 2 I've been in and the 4 I've been to, or 3 I've been in, 4 I've been to, where there's a lot of negative people. I don't understand. I mean, this is a fun, no offense to anybody, made up fitness race. Like, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, why are people getting so crazy over this? I mean, that was my only disappointment. And the advantages of racing with my twin is a great question that I got from the chat. The biggest advantage of racing with your twin is our team chemistry. We know exactly where we want to be when we're doing this stuff, and we can just tell each other if you got to pick up or cut it back. But I absolutely love it. I think anybody should do a HYROX. You just got to push your limits and see how much you can do. Again, I'm teaching elementary all day. I'm exhausted. As much as you might not think so, I am tired by the end of the day. Then I go coach lacrosse. Then I go coach wrestling. Then I go train 5 kids a week. You know, I'm very busy. And then I come home to my fiance and my best dog and cat. I'm a very busy person. I easily work at 80 to 90 hours a week, but I love what I do, and that's why I'm very happy. And trying to be a YouTuber is sick too. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. But what's next for me and Mike? HYROX goals. My biggest HYROX goal is to break 115. That seems to be like the average barrier. I know my brother Mike and I can break 115 definitely next time. And I really think we could break 110. So that is the goal. Inspired by my friends at DXD Training in Brantford, Connecticut. They crushed 110, which was sick. And we're trying to be there too. What it takes to get under 115, I would definitely say what it takes to get under 115 is not only your mindset, but specifically practicing the training, the wall balls, the push sleds, the pull sleds. Those are our best, or those are the ones we have to improve on the most. And how can I forget the sandbag lunges? Philadelphia Marathon plans. My biggest plan for 2026 or 5 New York City Marathon was to break 3:30. I got way too overconfident and ran way too fast for the first 8 miles. I was hitting like 6:30s and crashed. Still did a 3:53. Very proud of myself. But the main goal for Philly is to definitely get under 3:30. And I would be very, very happy. I just want to run a sub 8 for 26.2. And then from there, keep crushing it. I did just do 30 miles for my 30th 2 weeks ago at 9:10 pace. So I'm really feeling in great shape right now. My boy Steve has been helping coach me, who's an absolute animal. He just did a 50 miler. So I might be looking into one of those one day too. But yeah, running goals for the rest of 2026, maybe do a 50 miler. That would be sick. But like I just said, breaking 3:30 in the Philly Marathon will be huge for me and my twin. And just running it together. We just like doing stuff like that. And I think anybody should just start getting moving and writing down their goals and like doing stuff you never thought you would. I would have never thought I'd be running marathons 5 years ago. Here I am at 30 years old. I already did 3, 4 unofficial. It's just a lot of fun. Let me just answer a couple questions from the chat before we get going. Hardest HYROX station. I think I answered that a little bit earlier with the rankings, but by far the wall balls. I think everybody's going to say wall balls, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit. The sandbag lunges, for some reason, they just destroy my body. It's because we're fun size. It's not too easy. Would I ever do singles or doubles? I have no desire to do singles. I think if me and Mike were to break 1 hour in the HYROX open doubles, maybe we'd go pro and then do pro doubles. I really don't have any desire to do singles. It's about having fun, and that's what I like doing. Again, this is a hobby for me. The YouTubes are a hobby for me. That's a hobby for me. I try to just focus on my teaching and coaching and training. But I think if we were to ever break an hour in opens, we'd like to do pro where the weight's heavier. But I really right now in 2026. I don't have the slightest desire to do or a single HYROX by myself. I just love doing it with my family. That's what it's about. Favorite HYROX shoe, no, without a question, the Adios Pro 4s from Adidas. These are going to be my Marathon Philly shoe, unless I use the Cielo's 3.0 carbon plated shoe. This is going to be my next video on Sunday. So stay tuned for Soul Searching episode 2, where I talk about the Adios Pro 4 and the Hoka Cielos. I'm going to lean towards the Adios Pro 4. I just love the feeling more, but I would highly recommend for a HYROX shoe, a carbon plated shoe. Or a shoe that can hit the ground firm, not too much cushion. I wouldn't recommend these Hoka Mach 7s that I'm wearing right now, but the Brooks were fantastic for me in the last one. I would definitely recommend that, or the Sauconys I wore in the first HYROX I did. Marathon or HYROX? I love the HYROX I could do it with my family, and it is very tough. I don't want to say it's not, and it's mentally draining for sure. But there's something about that marathon where it's like, not many people are doing them. And that like wakes me up in the morning to go train. I will say the New York one was tough and I didn't love all of it, but I love what running brings me and the friends I've met and the people that do it. I'm leaning towards the marathon right now. I will say the HYROX is more fun, but there's nothing like that rush of finishing 26.2 miles. You're just like, wow, like, why did we do that? What race should we do next? Comment below which race should me and Mike do next. You tell me. I don't need to answer that one. Thanks again for joining me today. I hope you all learned something from me. Just your local PE teacher trying to grow this YouTube channel. I'm at 1,300 subscribers, so that's unreal. Just trying to get my students and supporters to help them get moving and get fit for summer. So if there's any questions you have for me, please just DM me on Instagram at coach_Cala, or shoot me an email, or just comment below in the comments what you love about my channel or what you want to learn next. What you love about my channel, what videos you want to hear next from me, and how else I can help you get moving throughout the summer and the rest of your lives. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope this helped. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, get moving.